Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about ADHD and anxiety. One day I woke up my kids to get ready for school. He woke up and he was like, "Mom, I don't want to go to school." And like any other parents, when my kid says, "I don't want to go to school" with no valid reasons, I would say, "No, you are going to school today." Anyway, there has been like some back and forth and "I don't want to go," and I'm like, "No, you are going." And he ended up going to school because we can't just always let them just not go to school because they don't fancy going to school. As a working mom, I started working, and then after I think 2 hours, I got a phone call from the school saying he's not feeling well, to come and to collect him. And I was waiting at the school gate for him to come out, and here is the door open, and my boy face is blue to a green to a yellow face, and I'm like, what's happening? This is an ill kid, seriously ill kid. And I know my boy when he's ill, and I'm like, we sat in the car and I was in complete disbelief of what's happening, what's going on. Like asking him, "What do you feel?" He was like, "I don't feel well at all. It's the headaches, I feel sick." Whatever you can think of, he was saying it as he's not feeling well. Actually, what started as "I don't want to go to school" as a mental blocker. Mentally, he's not ready. He doesn't want to go to school for some reason on that day. Mentally, his brain block going to school. That's it. And what was mental blocker in the morning has turned into a physical illness late morning. And this is where I'm thinking this is a classic example of anxiety. He's just being anxious for whatever reason on that day. He has something to do, a task, trying to mask, trying to just keep up with the demand that put on and the pressure that's put on him to cope, and he's unable. Maybe he knew that he will not be able to cope on that day. He just didn't have the will mentally on that day to go to school, and it turned into a physical illness, and he ended up not going to school. And from experience, I have come across lots of kids that I work with or I coach their parents that will have this mental blocker that will turn into a physical symptoms. The main thing to understand for us is ADHD and anxiety travel together far more than we think they are. It's very classic for an ADHD kid to start to develop anxiety, and it's for many reasons. One of them, trying to masking, trying to keep up with the demand, trying to pretend like they can behave and act like everyone else. It could be a reason for like when they usually always get things wrong and trying to avoid and think of, "I'm gonna get this next thing that I'm gonna be definitely wrong." So there are multiple reasons for them to feel the way they are feeling of anxiety within them. So before the physical symptoms starts, there are lots of quieter signs that you can start picking up on with your kid. Sometimes they're trying to be perfect. Others, there are big emotions and big anger about little and small things. And sometimes we just need to go back and think, is there a pattern that I can recognize here within my kid? For example, I know he's not every day waking up saying, "I don't want to go to school." There are certain days once he wakes up in the morning, and sometimes, by the way, from the look in his eye, I will be able to tell whether this is the day that he can manage school or this is the day where he cannot manage school. And I don't, at those days, I don't make the decision not to send him, because as a parent, I want my kid to learn how to face life and how to face challenges in life, not to run away and hide from them by staying at home. So I always send him to school and let's see how the day will go. If he's unable to cope, I will get a call and they will say he's unable to cope today, and I will go and collect him. But there are always those signs where you're going to be able to tell, actually, my kid has woke up this day refusing to go to school or has those specific symptoms, which turns into proper anxiety later on. So there are always those signs where you will be able to see there is a pattern, and you will start recognizing that pattern. Maybe someone is annoying them in the school and they don't want to go to school to face this person. So it could be a bullying case. It could be anything. It could be a task that they know it's coming and they've been dreading to do that task in the class. And this is the day where they have to do that task. So always try to pick up on what has caused the anxiety. There is always something that has happened below that physical feeling. And we just need to start naming it. So for example, even if your kid woke up in the morning and says, I have a stomach ache, try to, even on the way to school, try to discuss and understand, yes, there is a stomach ache, but what is the feeling that is associated with the stomach ache? Why? And try to sometimes investigate. And for ADHD kids, some of those kids are unable to name the feeling that's coming with this anxiety. They just don't know. It's just a physical feeling. They can't name it. So sometimes we might just need to start helping them and name it for them. So if your child's worry has shown up as a stomach ache, it is not something that you are imagining. It is something real, and it's developed because they have been anxious about something specific that's going to happen or happening in their life. So all what I'm going to say, we just need to help our kids navigate these challenges in their lives. One thing I want to say, it takes a village to raise a child, and starting to recognizing these things is the beginning of the journey. If you like what you heard today, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.